All right, so welcome everybody. Uh, Everybody's doing well today. I will see. Okay, I'm going to share the screen here. Okay, so welcome to our weekly Wednesday Zoom call. I am so glad that every one of you is here. So thank you for showing up for yourself. And today we will be talking about vitamins. I will explain all kinds of things, how to buy them, what to look for, what's a waste of money. I'm going to go over the program supplements so you know why you're taking all these crazy supplements, because I know there's a lot. But once you understand why you're taking them and what each thing does, well, it might change your perspective on why you want to take them, because I know it's a lot and it's just literally a tough pill to swallow because there are so many. But once you get the idea of what they're doing for you, I think that might help shift your perspective on taking them. Let's see. We'll start off with some shout outs and some jokes. Let's see. Why was the tomato blushing? Because it saw the salad dressing. I got one here. Why was the mushroom invited to the party? Because he was a fungi to be around. All right, so enough of that. All right, so some shout outs.
Okay.
We got Juana. She's down 14 pounds, doing a great job. We've got Michael down 30 pounds. Barbara has reduced her blood pressure medications and her blood sugar medications by 1,000 milligrams, which apparently is quite a big deal. Her clothes are fitting better and her belly fat is gone. So congratulations to you, Barbara, on that. Steve, his blood pressure's dropped, and he's also lost 34 pounds. And also Dave is down 27 pounds. So congratulations to all of you. I know a lot more of you are doing well. And I didn't get everybody's name, of course. There's quite a few of you, but those are just a couple of some of the people I've talked to this week. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So let's talk about the supplement industry. 2021, $254 billion were spent on supplements. In 2026, it's expected to become a $377 billion industry. 77% of Americans take at least one supplement. Y'all are in that one, I'm sure. 57% of Americans 20 and up have used, let's see, have used supplements in the past 30 days. Overall usage goes up as age increases. I will say that's faux show. I take as many as you guys take, and I'm not on the program currently, so I take a whole lot of stuff. And it's a lot of it has to do with aging, so that is not wrong. Let's see, 25% more women use supplements than men. I found that a little bit interesting. All right, so I just wanted to go over a couple of things, what I thought were kind of a waste of money. And years and years ago, Dr. Oz was a very popular daytime TV show host, and he would come on there and he would start talking about a certain product, and you're going to drop all this weight and it melts your fat, and it's fat can't survive in this environment, and all of these other things. And when I bought my vitamin store, there was all these funky things that the previous owner had on the shelf. And she's like, well, once Dr. Oz says it, everybody comes running in the front door to buy it. And until next week when he changes his tune and it turns into a different one, and then a different one, and then a different. So it's supplement of the week. But some of the ones that I had in my store that I sold, the number one here is the Garcinia cambogia. That Dr. Oz made that one really popular. And I had a lot of regulars that would take this Garcinia and they would swear by it. And they would buy it every month, month in, month out, which was great for the store. Obviously, I'm there to make a living, but these people, not any of them ever changed. And I know one in particular I'm thinking about, he never changed his food. He ate a lot of fast food. So it's just not going to be a magic pill. Some of these things can be helpful in addition to healthy diet and exercise. It can be, but the studies are so slim on these. And again, my customers were the same month in and month out. For Skolin, another Dr. Oz thing, he started talking about that and how that's going to burn all the fat off your body. And of course, it was plenty on the shelf. And of course, by the time I got to the store, people had already forgotten about that one, and it was all expiring on the shelf. So I don't know anybody it really worked for. Diet pills, I really would not encourage those. And I'm talking about the kind of diet pills that make you kind of shaky. It's like a speed. It makes you not want to eat at all. And it's not good for your cardiovascular system. And B, if you drastically reduce your calories, because you're taking these pills every day so you can't eat, you're on a super calorie deficit. It screws up your metabolism. It screws up the metabolism. So please don't take those diet pills. Yohimbe, that's another one, gets you kind of shaky. But supposedly that was the greatest thing for weight loss, but it does make you shaky. So I just don't think, I don't know anybody that was making any changes by taking some of these vitamins or supplements. It's particularly for weight loss. The diet pills might work temporarily. So if you have to get into that little black dress by Saturday night, then maybe cut off something like that. But it's so unhealthy. I had some stuff in my store, and I think people were addicted to it because when I was out of it, they would panic, like, when's it coming in? When's it coming? So be very, very, very careful with those things. All right. So what should we be aware of? So we all talk about vitamin K, and you should take a vitamin K with your vitamin D, and that's possible. But if you're eating green leafy vegetables, those are full of vitamin K. You really don't need any extra vitamin K, but if you're taking extra, it could reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners because it is actually a blood thickener. So be mindful of that. Ginkgo biloba, that's a vitamin or a supplement, I guess, for memory. I keep forgetting to take it, but I'm kidding. But it can increase blood thinning, and I understand it's also not good for blood pressure either. It can raise blood pressure. St. John's wort is actually a supplement for mood and for disposition and possibly slight depression. But unfortunately, it can make it can make some drugs such as antidepressants and birth control pills less effective. And I've heard other things about St. John's wort. It takes a long time to you have to take it consistently for a really long time. So I would probably go with something else. Comfrey or kava can cause liver damage. The kava is very good for calming, but a lot of times it does have like alcohol in it for absorption because your body absorbs the alcohol quicker. Okay, so let's dive into the Dr. Infantino's lineup here. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about tonight or today, excuse me, is the appetite appeaser. Now, by its name, it sounds like it's going to just curb your appetite, which it can do. It can reduce hunger pangs. It can and nervous tension. It can appease the appetite naturally. So this is not like the diet pills I was talking about that are literally like a speed, like a like a caffeine or a stimulant. This is all with herbs. This has got all a boatload of herbs in it. It can help regulate blood sugar levels. And if you guys have ever heard me give the talk on the glycemic index, when we regulate the blood sugars and blood sugars are staying steady and stable, that's when we're in fat burning zone. So if we can regulate those blood sugars, all the better. Let's see what else. And it also breaks down and oxidizes fat. So it does tell the body to use the fat as an energy source. There are a lot of good herbals within this capsule. It's also got your branched chain aminos in there, which are your valine, your leucine, and your isoleucine. Specifically, those are specific to building muscle. And also, if you've ever heard me talk before, you know the more lean muscle you have, the faster your metabolism goes. You guys are in a calorie deficit. So if you're getting your protein, which breaks down into aminos, and some of them are your branched chain aminos, it's going to help you build that lean muscle that you need to turn the dial up on your metabolism, to turn the dial up on your calorie burning capabilities. It's got all kinds of different other herbs in there that are, you've got dandelion root, which is a diuretic. It's going to help you get rid of some of that water weight. It has chickweed in there. It's great for weight loss. Can also have a laxative effect. Let's see. Bladderwrack herb helps with the thyroid and digestive issues and weight loss and joint pain. It's got parsley leaf, which is also a diuretic. Iodine. Well, it's got kelp, which is let's see, sorry about that. It's got kelp, which is high in iodine, which supports a healthy thyroid. And that's often off by the time people come to our office. Licorice root for digestion and helps with leaky gut. That's usually the culprit for causing autoimmunes like fibromyalgia and Hashimoto's. So we want to support a healthy thyroid. Reducing swelling, reducing inflammation, and reducing gas. It's got other aminos in here. So this is really a good product to take. And this is the one you want to take before. Oh, it's got hawthorn berry. Hawthorn berry is fabulous for lowering your blood pressure and reducing cardiovascular disease, increasing blood flow. And it also has digestive enhancing properties. So the appetite appeaser is something that you can take before your food. There's 3 of them that you can take prior to your food. An appetite appeaser is one of them. All right, body purifier. Okay, so the body purifier, this is a good one. And by the way, I had a client text me this morning and say she's got COVID. If you feel like you're coming down with a little cold, a little tickle in your lungs, a little scratch in your throat, double up on your body purifier because this is your immune booster. This is going to do all kinds of things. It removes mucus and congestion from your body. And when we eat dairy, it creates a lot of mucus, which is why we've asked you to be off of dairy for the first 12 weeks. But this will help remove some of that. So you definitely want it. And the mucus blocks the absorption of your vitamins and minerals. So once we get rid of the mucus, we're able to absorb the good vitamins and minerals. You're going to feel a lot better. You're going to have more energy. The body purifier also helps cleanse the lymphatic system. It also fights it fights bacteria, virus, yeast, mold, and worms. It removes environmental chemicals and harmful food additives. So it really is true to its name. It's a body cleanser. It's a body purifier. So we definitely want to take that. I think this is one of the most powerful ones that we have as far as having the impact on your body. Once we clean up the body and get everything balanced, everything starts to work a lot more normally, and weight loss is just a natural side effect because it's really hard to lose weight when everything else is going willy wonkus. What else? Yeah, it's got ginger root powder, which is good for all kinds of things. Dandelion root, echinacea, golden seal. All those are immune boosters, guys. All right, so digestive enzymes. I like to think of these as the catcher's mitt. So this is another one that you can have prior to your food. So if you take your digestive enzyme and then you eat, it's like a catcher's mitt. So what the digestive enzymes do is they break down your food and they turn it into kind of a froth so that it can go into the small intestines and start to get absorbed. If your body doesn't make enough digestive enzymes and you're not breaking down your food, you're getting whole pieces of food in your intestines. And when that happens, the pancreas goes, oh, there's more food. It's not more food, it's just undigested food, but the pancreas mistakes it for more food. And now it's pumping more insulin, which guess what? That puts us in a fat storage mode. So if you take your digestive enzymes prior to eating, it helps you break down your food a whole lot more efficiently. And then we can get you to that place of being in a fat burning zone. So there's enzymes, minerals, pancreatin, which is, ginger root, omega fatty acids, fennel seeds, peppermint, garlic, bilberry. So a lot of good other things in addition to the enzymes. It helps, let me read this. It absorbs nutrients from foods, breaks down and absorb foods, preventing gas, restores natural energy, reduces allergies and arthritis, and promotes weight control. So you definitely want to take this before you eat. Now that I've finished with the program, if I do eat red meat or dairy, I definitely want to take a digestive enzyme. All right. All right, so the fiber blend. This will help maximize efficiency without calories. Now, okay, so overcome constipation, but that's a catch-22 because it can also cause constipation. So when you first start this program, we're giving you all of these different supplements, plus we're eliminating a lot of the stuff that you've been eating. Your body kind of goes into a bit of a shock. You're eating a lot of vegetables, you're not drinking coffee, you're not having dairy. So your body's kind of going, wait, what's going on? So it can lead to either constipation or diarrhea. And if either of those two things happen, you come to me and I'll tweak your supplements. But if you tell me you're having constipation, the first thing I'm going to either cut in half or eliminate is the fiber blend. Because what the fiber does is it can go in there and swell, and that can cause some blocking. Now, during the cleanse, we have to ask you to double your fiber, so that it swells so you feel fuller while you're not eating. But it can also, again, when it swells, it can cause blocking, and which can cause the constipation. So if you are constipated, cut your fiber in half or cut it out completely. Then intestinal cleanser. So intestinal cleanser is the other one that if you either have constipation or if you have diarrhea. If you have diarrhea and you just started the program, I'm going to come to me, but I will suggest very likely that you cut in half your intestinal cleanser, or depending on the severity you tell me about, or maybe we'll cut it out completely. But let's see. The intestinal cleanser helps break down encrusted waste in your system. They say we have between 5 and 25 pounds of sludge in the gut. And some of it has been there for years and years and years, especially if we're eating man-made foods like margarine. It's like one molecule away from plastic, and stuff like that goes in there and the body doesn't even know what it is, and it doesn't know how to get rid of it. It can, the intestinal cleanser removes parasites and worms within the body. You never know what's going on in there, but that's a good thing to have happen. It restores peristaltic action in the colon. And all that means is the peristaltic action is there's these little fingers within the colon and they push the food through. And sometimes it gets stuck or stagnant. And if your intestinal cleansers, if it's stimulating that, it's going to help move your bowels through your intestines a lot more efficiently. It acts as an anti-inflammatory and anti-irritant for the joints and gastrointestinal tract. It lubricates the intestinal tract. It relieves gas and pains in the bowels. And it improves the function of the stomach and the liver. So obviously this is something that can really make a difference, getting all that sludge out. I can tell you when I did this program, my stomach was a lot flatter and my energy went up so much. And I think that was just cleaning out my liver, giving my gut a break, and all that sludge got to go away. And I'm sure it was the intestinal cleanser that helped with all that. So it's got a lot of good herbals in there. Butternut bark helps with the parasites. Ginger root helps with weight loss, digestion, inflammation. Fennel seeds reduce inflammation, reduce gas. Yellow dock helps with constipation and helps the gastrointestinal tract. And marshmallow root helps with water retention. So a lot of good stuff in the intestinal cleanser, but that's what it's doing. It's literally cleaning out your intestines, which is exactly what we're looking for.
It's like left or like Pleasant.
No, straight.
Like we're going to Walmart.
Also, okay, so next up we have the multivitamin. So this can boost energy, cleanse the blood, aid in removal of free radicals, which are the things that age us. Manage weight, improve skin tone, repair cells, fight disease, improve digestion, detoxify the body. So and it's got just so many things in here. A, D, E, B, B1, B2, niacin, B6, B12, folic acid, magnesium, zinc. Zinc is good for your immune. Biotin, which is good for your skin, hair, and nails. Just ginkgo biloba. Iodine, again, good for thyroid. Rose hips, citrus bioflavonoids. Kelp, ginseng, rutin. Rutin's good for bruises, but that's a form of vitamin C. So a lot of good stuff in the multivitamin. All right, next up we have the probiotic blend. And this one will help maintain intestinal activity. It helps prevent the takeover of more harmful microorganisms like Candida. It can help prevent bad breath, gas, and bloating. It improves overall health and skin by combating harmful bacteria. And I can tell you too, when your gut is balanced and good, so is your immune system. If you find that you're getting sick all the time, your gut is probably out of whack. Your gut is your other brain, and your gut is your immune system. So the more healthy bacteria we can put in the gut, the better. It's like arming yourself with an army of the good guys. And so every day you're taking the good guys, combats the bad guys. And one thing that's really good about this particular brand is that it's enteric coated. So we have what's called hydrochloric acid in the stomach. So when we eat food, it's there for a reason. It does a couple things. It kills any bacteria, bad bacteria, in case you eat like something that's tainted or whatever. But it also helps, the acid breaks the food down along with the digestive enzymes. So that helps break the food down so that it can be digested and absorbed. And but if a lot of the probiotics on the market, the hydrochloric acid in the stomach is going to kill the bacteria in the pill. So it's almost kind of useless. But with this particular brand, it's enteric coated with beeswax. So the beeswax covers it and coats it. And this is another one you should take prior to food. So when you have an empty stomach, you take your probiotic, it goes immediately into the intestine rather than sitting around in all that hydrochloric acid where it has an opportunity to get killed. But it's enteric coated. I would say on occasion switching it up and just getting a brand that's known for its a good enteric coating. But every time you switch up your probiotic, you're getting different strains. So probiotics, they're good for digestive health, they're good for vaginal health, they're good for your immune system. Just there's all kinds of different things that it's good for. So immune, vaginal, and digestive primarily. Okay. All right. Next up, we have vitamin D. You want to always get a vitamin D3, of course. It strengthens your bones. It lowers your risk for disease and infection. I remember when COVID first came out, I was slamming down the vitamin D and the zinc and vitamin C, of course. But those are all immune boosters. So there's that. It boosts the immune system, and it can help decrease cognitive decline as we age. So I always, vitamin D is one of my absolute staples. Because you guys are going to finish all of these supplements. You guys are taking all of these things. And then you're like, well, what happens after? Actually, I'll go over that at the end. That's what I'll do. And then the last one, and probably the favorite one, is the nutritional shake. It's easy mixing. It's got 4 great flavors: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and mocha. No artificial sweeteners. It comes from a grass-fed cow. It's lactose, soy, casein, and gluten-free, which is what we want. It's candida friendly. It's actually going to be good for the gut. It helps with faster weight loss, increases health, and optimal daily nutrition. And it's got all your vitamins. It's got all your aminos, including your branched chain aminos, alanine and arginine. Those are good. Those are good vasodilators, which would make it a good pre-workout. Vasodilator just means it helps open up the veins and arteries so the blood can flow through and get to those muscles that it needs. And so that's always good. It helps, and they also, for the same reason, because it vasodilates, it's also really good for your blood pressure. Aminos in general are designed for repairing the body. So when a protein is broken down, it breaks down into aminos. But this protein powder is not just a protein powder. It also has enzymes in it. So it has more enzymes to help you with your digestion. Citrus bioflavonoids, again, good for your immune. CLA, which is conjugated linoleic acid, very good for weight loss, and it tells the body to burn fat as a source of energy. It's got probiotics in it. Let's see. All your aminos, trace minerals, but it's got some vitamin D in there. Biotin, again, good for your hair, skin, and nails. All right, so when you go out into the world and you're trying to buy a protein powder, and you're like, well, how do you know if it's good or not? So I'm going to just use ours for an example. When you look at the nutrition facts, at the very top, it's always going to say serving size, and it'll say how many grams. So in this case, this is the chocolate whey protein, and it's got 43 grams. Now, what you're going to look for if you're going out to buy a different kind other than this, which I don't know why you would, because this one has all the other stuff in addition to the protein, which is good for your health. But it says 43 grams. So when I look at protein, it only has 20 grams. So that means there's 23 grams of something else. So if you're buying a protein powder and it's got 40 grams in a scoop and it's only got 20 grams of protein, there's 20 grams of something else. We know the something else's that are in here. We know that it's enzymes. We know that it's probiotics. We know that it's vitamins. We know that it's some chocolate and some sweetener. We know that it's some of your probiotics. We know that it's got the CLA. So we know what the other things are in this particular one. But if you just get an ordinary, you walk into a vitamin store or Sprouts or wherever you get your stuff, and you're reading the label and it's primarily just a protein powder without all the other goodies. This one also has fiber, so that's also going to take up a lot of room. That's why it's 23 grams difference. But that's what you're looking for. You want it really to be closer, unless it's ours, because we know what the other stuff is. Otherwise, when you look at the ingredients and you see sucralose and you see all these words you can't pronounce, and sometimes they're fats and sometimes they're high fructose corn syrups, or there's all kinds of different things they can add to it. So you want your grams per scoop to be as close to the grams of protein as possible, because that means it's primarily all protein. Obviously, you want a grass-fed protein, and you want it a low heat processed, and of course naturally sweetened. That's what you're looking for. You don't want sucralose or aspartame. I don't think any of them have aspartame anymore, but a lot of them, if you go into a GNC or a bodybuilding kind of vitamin store, sports nutrition, they're going to have a lot with the sucralose, and that kills your bacteria in your gut, by the way. All right, next up we have fish oil. I had one on my shelf that was $60, and I had one on my shelf that was $10. Why in the world would I spend $50 more when I can just get one for $10? Well, kind of the same thing I was talking about with the protein. When you look at your fish oil, you want to, most of them will say 1,000 milligrams of fish oil. Okay, that's good. But why are we buying fish oil? What is the purpose of that? What we're really looking for, the thing that we want the most from the fish oil is omega-3. So I don't give a rat's hiney about how much fish oil is in there. I want to know how much omega-3 is in there. So if you look at your bottle and it says on the front, which sounds all fluffy, and always remember the front is the fluffy stuff. Don't ever believe the front. Don't think, oh, it's the end all be all, 1,000 milligrams of fish oil. When you turn it around, see how much omega-3 you're actually getting. And they usually break it down into EPA and DHA and maybe a different one. What's the other one? The one that comes from flax, the plant-based. But if it's only like 100 or 200 or 300 milligrams of omega-3, but it's 1,000 milligrams of oil, that's a lot of extra filler. They might add a little lemon essence so that you don't get the fish burps, or maybe they added extra other supplements within that particular supplement. So look and see what else is in it. But you want, if it says 1,000 milligrams of fish oil, you want omega-3s to be really close to that 1,000. So if it says it has 900 milligrams of omega-3 and it has 1,000 milligrams of fish oil, that's a good product. Buy that one. Hopefully that makes sense. Servings per container. this one got me. So as you guys know, I'm taking this course and it's really, really, really hard. So I bought this stuff to help me with focus and clarity and memory. And I'm like, God, this is really expensive. I mean, it was just really expensive. But I'm like, okay, well, it is a month's supply. And so I bought it. Well, I assumed it was a month's supply. Well, when I looked at it, I had to take like 5 pills or something like that. So was only 15 servings per container. This was only going to last me 2 weeks. So I'd have to be buying this $50, 80, whatever it was, you know, every other week if I'm going to take it all the time. So pay attention to that. Sometimes they'll get you and you think, and so many things come 30 per container. So you think, okay, it's a month's supply. But if you have to take 3 every day, that's only going to last you a third of the month. Certainly not the whole month. So pay attention to that. When you're looking at your vitamins, your multivitamin, or maybe you're taking a B complex vitamin, or maybe you're just taking a B12. There's 2 kinds of B12 that I know of. I think there's other kinds, but the most common are the cyanocobalamin and the methylcobalamin. If you want the most active one, the most effective one, you want the methylcobalamin. In fact, yes. So even on here, it says under vitamin B12, it's got 291% of B12 as methylcobalamin. So you know when a company puts methylcobalamin as their B12, they're paying attention. They're doing their homework. They know it's a more absorbable, active form of that B12. So if it says cyanocobalamin, it's cheap junk. And so when I see that, because I don't know everything, all of the different, versions of, there's so many kinds of, magnesium, and there's so many versions of different vitamins. But I know the cyanocobalamin is the cheaper version and it's not as effective. So you want to get the methylcobalamin. Then when you're looking at your vitamin C, I'm a big fan. It's great for your skin. Obviously, it's great for your immune system. But when you're looking at your vitamin C, you want to go for vitamin C ascorbate, not ascorbic, but you're mostly going to see ascorbic acid in probably 90% of the ones on the shelves at the market. So just pay attention. This is a little better of a version of it. And then let me see this Koku. There we go. Yeah, so CoQ10 versus ubiquinol. So CoQ10 is an energy booster. It can help really fire up the mitochondria in the body, which is your energy powerhouse. And it's also really good for your cardiovascular system. So it's something that you might consider taking. You would take it in the morning. But there's 2 different versions of it. The CoQ10 is known as ubiquinone, and then there's also ubiquinol. Now, ubiquinol is the same thing, only it's the more active, absorbable version. If you just take CoQ10, the body has to do some extra work to turn it into the ubiquinol, to turn it into the activated, usable form of CoQ10. So if that's something that you're considering taking, and once again, ubiquinol is going to cost more, but it's a better quality product. You're going to get more benefit from it. I've had several people come to me and say, Tami, I love your guys' protein powder, but can you recommend anything that's a little cheaper? Because yours is a little pricey. And it's like, if you go across the board, guys, all of these things, the fish oil, the B12, the vitamin C, the ubiquinol, all of these things, if they're made with quality ingredients, you are going to pay more. If the protein is made from a grass-fed cow, if it's sweet with stevia or monk fruit, it's a lot more expensive than sucralose. So they have to charge us for it. Same with the higher version of omega-3 on the fish oil. So you don't always get what you pay for, but you do got to look at your ingredients and see what you're getting. And these are some words to look for: ascorbate, not ascorbic, ubiquinol, not CoQ10, stuff like that. Oh my goodness. All right. So does anybody have any questions?
Tammy, this is Juana. I have a question. I've heard, what about berberine? Is berberine good?
Berberine. I can't remember what that one does. Berberine.
That one is to also to reduce your hunger, is to help you lose weight.
Yeah. Is there berberine in the appetite appeaser? No, I don't think so. If you feel like you're just famished and hungry, then I would say try it. You could also take an extra appetite appeaser as well, because it's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, no, I was thinking like for after, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
after the-
sure. Yeah. Oh, I know what I wanted to go over. Typically, once you guys do a 12-week program with us, you're taking all these supplements, primarily going to do two things. It's going to pull the toxins from the body and put the stuff that's likely missing back in. But once you clean out your body in 3 months and you have, excuse me, and you have not hit your goal, then I do suggest that we do the weight loss jumpstart kit. And it has none of the same supplements I talked about today, except the appetite appeaser. It's got the 7-keto DHEA, which helps improve your body mass. It helps with belly fat and increase energy levels. Green coffee bean extract helps the body use fat as energy. Conjugated linoleic acid, the CLA, that helps the body reduce fat. Thermogenic appetite suppressant, that's the appetite appeaser. And the raspberry ketones also tells the body to use the fat as an energy source. So that's a kit, and it's a month's supply that you might consider after your first 12 weeks. In addition, if you haven't hit your goal, I would still take a vitamin D. I would still take a good omega-3. What else do I take? I take minerals. I take a vitamin C. I take a good fish oil, take a vitamin D. I don't take a multi. I feel like I'm eating enough vegetables and whatnot, but I do take a vitamin D. But those are kind of, and the digestive enzymes and the probiotics. I definitely take those. So those are just to keep my gut healthy. So that is my spiel for today. Does anybody have any questions?
Tammy, I have a question. So coconut water additive free, is that going to be the same as organic coconut water where that's the only ingredient? Or is
Say the first part again. What about the coconut water?
So in the book it says we can drink coconut water, and then it has parentheses raw and additive free.
Added to 3. What page is that on?
Organic. Let's see, page 26. It says we can't have coconut until after day 22,
Additive
which
free. I didn't understand you.
then-
Additive free.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to
additive
your
free.
ingredients for sugars.
Okay, so if it just says organic coconut water as the only ingredient, that's good.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and we can have that before the 22 days, or do we have to wait till after the 22 days?
So you can have, when do you start?
I started today.
That's right.
This is
Okay.
20.
Yes. I would say wait till after your first cleanse. Excuse me. Wait till after
Okay.
your first cleanse.
Okay.
And then the nuts and seeds come back after the first 2 weeks. And I guess I would put that in a nut category, so let's just wait till after. But if that's all that's in it, that's great. That's gonna be
Okay,
really
cool. Awesome. Thank you.
good question. And I learned something. Anybody else? And it doesn't have to be on supplements. It could be questions about something else.
Tammy, I have a question. So on your digestive enzyme and probiotic blend, I didn't know it was prior. So did I mess it up that I could have, is that okay? Because I just put them for each day, the ones that I have to take for morning and night and afternoon.
Yeah.
That it was prior to the.
Yeah, I try to mention that in the onboarding call, but I think I don't always say it. I'm not sure. Probably the day I worked with you, I might not have said that. But no, and even if now you know it, but you forgot and you ate your lunch or you ate your dinner or whatever, and then you take your enzyme and your probiotic after, you're fine. It'll still work. I just think it'll serve you a little better if you get it first, especially the enzymes, because you want it in your stomach first to start breaking down that food right away, so that when it gets to the intestines, it's frothy and not chunky. Good question.
Thank you.
Anybody else? So here's my excuse me, my email address. So if anybody wants to take a screenshot of that, if you have any other questions and you're feeling shy, you can reach out to me there. If you want to make an appointment to talk to Dr. Infantino, if you're not on the program yet and you're considering it, by all means, at least call up and make an appointment to see if he can help you. It's not for everybody, but we can help. We've helped a lot of people, so make an appointment to see if it's a fit. And I am going to stop my share. Awesome. All right. Any other concerns or wins or struggles? Something that you want to work through? All right. Well, with that being said, I guess I will see you guys next time. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you for your questions. I do appreciate that. Because now everybody gets to learn the answer. And I'm sure more than one of you was thinking that same thing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and